This is your fourth stimulus check update and news report.
Finally, on paycheck fairness. Tomorrow, the Senate will decide whether to take up legislation to address the gender pay gap. Right now in America, women earn roughly 82 cents for every dollar a man makes, even when you account for educational attainment.
Through the WHO and also with our international partners to exert that pressure and ensure that we're all going to keep pressing for them to release underlying data.
So the U.S. Labor Department reported Thursday that initial jobless claims fell below 400,000 for the first time since the early days of the crisis. First-time filings for unemployment benefits totaled 385,000 for the week ending May 29th, and that's a decline from the previous week's 405,000.
Saved for retirement because for many, many years they have been working at wages that have been totally inadequate, preventing them from putting money into the bank. Mr. President, many seniors obviously have worked their whole lives.
Now, the last time claims were this low was the week of March 14th, 2020, with 256,000. The number spiked to nearly 3 million from the following week and peaked at more than 6.1 million in early April, as governments across the United States shut down businesses. However, this doesn't mean the economy has returned to normal. Despite the decline in weekly claims, continuing claims rose by 169,000 to 3.7 million. In fact, folks, more than 15.4 million Americans are still receiving benefits under the various programs, including two put in place specifically to address crisis-related displacements. The claims numbers are expected to continue the decline as more workers return to their jobs and as states curtail benefits. Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer just announced a plan to allow people to work part-time and continue receiving unemployment benefits simultaneously. The Michigan Economic Jumpstart Plan will be made possible with leftover federal funding from the American Rescue Plan in Michigan's budget, which allocated millions of dollars in funding to states in an effort to help Americans recover from the devastation of the crisis. During a Thursday press conference, Whitmer stated that Michiganders working full-time would not be eligible to continue receiving unemployment benefits. Governor Whitmer said, "We want to make sure we are giving people all of the incentives to get back to work so that they can take care of themselves and their families and not forego other opportunities that can help them get back on their feet." What are your thoughts on Governor Whitmer's plan, everybody? And should the unemployment benefits continue? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Whitmer also announced the Michigan Bigger Paycheck Plan, which would give $300 million in grants to employers in an effort to incentivize raising wages to $15 per hour for at least 3 months. And finally, the Michigan governor would also allocate the $370 million to expand access to childcare for 15,000 low and middle income families. The Michigan Main Street Initiative would give another $300 million to small businesses, including $100 million for restaurants to help cover mortgage or rent and operational costs, and $125 million for small businesses that missed out on other incentives. And also, everybody, the child tax credit is about to change, and for most parents and guardians, that will soon mean monthly checks from the federal government. The Treasury Department and the IRS recently announced the official July start date for the updated credit, as laid out in the American Rescue Plan. But some of you have said that you guys are still unsure of how much you will receive. Well, the recent $1.9 trillion stimulus relief package aims to give parents a little more support, and the credit will now be worth as much as $3,600 for the year, and money that was once claimed only at tax time will be issued in installments, at least in 2021. For parents of children up to the age of 5, the IRS will pay a total of $3,600, half as 6 monthly payments and half as a 2021 tax credit. That changes to $3,000 total for each child, ages 6 through 17. The IRS will make a one-time payment of $500 for dependents age 18. And payments will be based on the AGI, reflected on a parent's 2020 tax filing. And the amount phases out at a rate of $50 for every $1,000 of annual income, beyond $75,000 for individuals, and beyond $150,000 for married couples. The benefit will be fully refundable, meaning it will not depend on the recipient's current tax burden. Qualifying families will receive the full amount, regardless of how much or little they owe in taxes. There is also no limit to the number of dependents that can be claimed. So that is all the news in this video, everybody. If you folks found this video useful and helpful, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give this video a like. Until next time, folks, have a great day and stay safe.
All right. I have a couple of items for all of you at the top. And some charts. We love charts in here. In today's encouraging report, initial claims for unemployment insurance fell to their lowest level and below 400,000 for the first time since the pandemic hit. This is just the latest evidence that President Biden's economic strategy and vaccination plan are working. While weekly data can be volatile, since taking office, average claims have fallen by about 50%, which you can see in this chart over the course of time, and by more than 100,000 in the last month alone.
Afford food, rent, utilities, car payments, student loans, and healthcare expenses. Small businesses and restaurants were getting killed. Now we're delivering loans and support they need to reopen and to stay open. Schools are struggling to reopen, so we made vaccinating teachers a priority. We delivered schools the much support they needed. State and local governments had to lay off tens of thousands of educators and first responders. Many are now back on the job thanks to the rescue plan. In fact, in May, state and local governments added 103,000 education jobs, returned them to work. These funds are continuing to get out this month to support state and local governments, which will help get more people back to work. Small and medium-sized businesses are now able to take advantage of a special tax credit called the Employee Retention Tax Credit. It provides businesses a generous tax credit to retain or hire more workers. Through our Restaurant Revitalization Fund, we anticipate being able to help over 100,000 hard-hit restaurants stay open or reopen. And beginning next month, most families with children will be getting a tax cut, which will be going and deposited in their accounts directly into their bank accounts every month. We know that access to child care is one of the biggest barriers in the way of parents going back to work. Our administration is delivering $39 billion in child care relief to help child care providers get back on their feet, the providers, and serve more families. And this month, our economy added nearly 20,000 more child care jobs that weren't there last month, in fact, allowing parents to have access to get help. And temporary boost in unemployment benefits that we enacted, I should say, help people who lost their jobs through no fault of their own and who still may be in the process of getting vaccinated, but it's going to expire in 90 days. That makes sense, it expires in 90 days.